In this video, we're going to cover how to identify and disposition NALTS leads. Each day, NALTS sends a list of new leads through an electronic interface with Salesforce. Since NALTS treats each lead as a unique record, this can result in duplicate entries in Salesforce. So our first step is going to be combining the information from both leads in order to create a lead that is more complete. This scenario involves NALTS providing a new lead for a prospect that I'm already working. We're going to address the duplicate, combine the information from both records, and then come up with a single prospect that we can work from. Once we do that, we'll look at the NALTS leads and dispo them as appropriate. So I'm going to start by showing you how to locate and combine duplicate leads into a single record. So I'm a recruiter working with Eric Peterson. He's a high school student in the Minneapolis area who's interested in joining the Navy. So let's pull up Eric now. You can see he's on my recent records. So I'm going to pull up Eric, and I notice that Salesforce has identified a potential duplicate record here. It says we have found one potential duplicate of this prospect. So I want to go and figure out what the duplicate looks like and if it really is a duplicate. So I'm going to navigate over here to the right side where it says duplicates, view duplicates. I'm going to click on that blue button right there. Now I can see that I have two Eric Petersons. Both have the same email. So these are duplicate records that I want to combine. And we're going to do that by clicking the checkbox on the left side of this duplicate list to include both Eric Petersons. So if I click here in this pane, now I've got both of them. And now I'm going to click Next. You'll see that Salesforce allows us to see the detailed information from both records, and we're able to pick what data we want to use when we combine these records. And duplicates can be confusing, so as a rule, Salesforce puts that record that you're currently in at the top of that duplicate list here. So this is the Eric Peterson I'm working on. This is the duplicate. And let's combine that data. So as the recruiter, I've been working with Eric for a while, and I happen to know that Eric has moved from Eden Prairie to Minneapolis. So I know that this is my master. If I didn't want to use this as my master, if the opposite was true, I could click here or click Select All and start using this kind of as the basis for combining the information in one lead. So we're going to go back to selecting all here. And I'm going to look down through this information. And I'm going to pick what information I want to pull over into that master field. So as I go through, I see, you know what, I typed in Eric Peterson's name incorrectly. Needs a capital E and a capital P, particularly if I send him any correspondence. So I'm going to click that here. So I've selected to use this when we combine the information into a master record. Now I have a mobile number that's different. I happen to know that he got a brand new telephone number when he moved to Mini. So we're going to use that 999, but I didn't have his home phone. So I'm going to take that home phone here from this lead. And what I can do is I can scroll down for the information that we have, the most popular information that we have here, and I can say, oh, no, that's all correct. If I wanted to, I can click down here where it says Show All Fields, and all of the information that we have when you first log in and you're looking at that new lead, when you're gathering blueprinting information, all that information is here. And so when I click on it, what you'll see is that the list gets much longer, and here is all the information that I have. If you get lost, all you have to do is go all the way back up to the top where you were, and you can see, you can start looking, ASVAB test, gender information, maiden name, test series, all the information that we have is located on this form. And if you want to collapse it, you go back down to the bottom of the list and you show different fields only, and you have that here. So now that we have this information together, we're going to combine that. So I'm going to go down to the bottom here and click Next. And it's saying, hey, you're about to do something that you can't undo. So make sure that all the information you have is correct, because you can't undo it and you're not going to be able to go back and get that information again. But what I want to do is I want to hit Merge Prospects. And by clicking on Merge Prospects, that now combines the information into one Eric Peterson. So the information that we have pulled over is all in this one record, and it then again says we have found no potential duplicates of this prospect. So that's how we combine duplicate leads, which is the first step in addressing NALTS leads that come in. So now that we've addressed duplicate entries, we have a single record that we can work from. Now I want to see any new leads that have come in from NALTS, and I want to dispo them correctly. So the first thing I'm going to do is to navigate over to the NALTS pane that's in between the details and supplementary info pane right here, and I want to click on it. And that's going to bring me to a history of all the lead activities associated with Eric. And as you can see that there's 3 NALTS leads, right? And I've dispoed this bottom one already. There's no dates to disposition. From this view, we can also see that I have the name where the lead came from, the days to disposition, the disposition date, and the disposition reason. The days to disposition counts down the number of days that the recruiter has left to disposition the lead so that the NALTS team can report back on the progress. So once a lead is dispositioned, that countdown timer stops, and as you can see down the bottom, it disappears. So let's go ahead and let's dispo the first entry by clicking on the upside down caret here, which is right here, and we're going to click on edit. This pane captures feedback to the key questions you have to answer about each NALTS lead. It's the same rules you've followed since you started recruiting, but in a different format. And I'm going to walk you through those questions and the options you have to choose from right now. The first field captures your ability to contact the lead. If you are able to get in touch with the lead, then select yes, and the next field will automatically populate with not applicable. However, if you're not able to contact that lead, then that no contact reason field needs to have a reason assigned to it based upon the following drop-down codes. Once that's selected, then the other questions are grayed out and don't require feedback. The lead can then be dispositioned by clicking on the Save button here at the bottom of the left pane. But let's say that we were able to contact Eric and gather some additional information from him. That information may help us make a decision on whether or not he is eligible or if he has issues that would prevent him from signing a contract. So I'm going to click on the non-eligibility reason field here and pick from the list. The first one is not a disqualifying reason. It's stating that there are no disqualifying factors and that I can continue the process. But if I select any of the other reasons that impact his eligibility, then the bottom questions are grayed out, and I can again dispo the lead by selecting the Save button at the bottom right. NALTS also wants to know when the lead has assessed, so the next 2 questions help NALTS understand where the prospect is in the process. In our Eric Peterson example, let's say that Eric won't graduate from high school until this coming June and is not yet ready to sign. In that example, we want to continue to talk with Eric about joining. So in that case, we select No from the lead assessed pane and then continuing follow-up. If we get to the point where any of the other drop-down fields apply, say Eric's decided he's going to start college in the fall, then we can select the appropriate reason from this drop-down list. Finally, unemployment status is a field collected by NALTS. If you have this information, please fill it in. Otherwise, select Unknown from the dropdown. Then, to finish your disposition, click the blue Save button. Once you click the Save button, you'll notice that the days to disposition timer stops and the countdown disappears. You can also see that the disposition reason has been updated to reflect the reason you selected just a moment ago. If you have any additional questions, please contact us at navy.recruiting.help@accenturefederal.com.